And hello, everyone. Welcome back to the FPL Frontline Prediction League in the trenches. I am your co-host, Scott. Joining me, as always, is BeerMe. BeerMe, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, Scott?
I'm doing good. We normally talk for like a half hour before recording, and it was only about 5 minutes this time, so we're just catching up. It's good. We're both doing really good here. It is a wild weekend we have coming up in the FPL. I'll promote that right now. It's Frontline Prediction League. Frontline League on Twitter. Frontline Prediction League is the YouTube channel. You're on that right now watching this. Thank you for that. Like, favorite, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Check out the Discord down in the links. You can go into our Discord for the Frontline Prediction League and also Top of the Card. Top of the Card Pod is the Twitter handle. It's our wrestling podcast about actual wrestling stuff, where we talked about everything from White Rabbit and Sammy Guevara and previewing these shows, even though it's not going to go up until afterwards. But talking about that stuff on real stuff, that's on Apple, it's on iTunes, on Spotify, on other fun stuff. Check that, and that Discord is shared with this for Frontline Prediction League, and that's why we're here, BeerMe, because we've got two shows coming up this weekend. Honestly, by the time people are watching this, tonight, Friday, we're recording this on Thursday, but Bound for Glory is Friday. I'm going to say that a billion times to make sure people remember. Friday, it's on the screen. Friday, October 7th, 8 p.m., There's a 7 o'clock pre-show, I do believe, Countdown to Glory. It might be 7:30, but that just means your deadline is 6 or 6:30. 6 p.m. deadline. It's Friday. Don't forget. The picks page has been up for a couple days now. Put your picks in ASAP, guys. Please, please, please. Don't miss out on this one. At the same time, it's a house show. It doesn't matter if you miss it as far as for the standings. You're not going to lose out. It's an awkward date, we know. That's why that's not as important. But it is if you're in line for the European title. Keep that in mind. It is main eventing. The day after is Extreme Rules. That's going to be the majority of what today's show is talking about because we previewed the full Bound for Glory card last week. There's no new matches we're announcing for either. It's just straight up rolling in to Bound for Glory and Extreme Rules. Our double weekend, as I have written up there on my board there. So, bear me. Let's go through really quick and remind people about Bound for Glory. It does have the Euro title main event, Black versus Blake. It's got the non-title submission, Martin versus BeerMe. Sounds weird. CT versus BeerMe. I always go last names, but that sounded weird. We got, it's even weirder now because it's Escobar versus Scott. Sebastian. Okay, fine. Let's, James Black versus James Blake. Full names. FPL European Grand Prix Championship. First defense for the new champ. The world champion versus the tag champion, Jonathan CT Martin and BeerMe Jesus. Submission match at Impact. Should be fun there. Non-title Canadian champion, Sebastian Escobar versus me. The GMSG, almost said GMSG, versus Lexi Briggs, another half of the tag team champions there. GMSG is facing Lexi. CJ Hawk versus Dion Blade, Roman Pearson, Mr. Glee, Rate Russell, who might be world champion the day after, versus Tino. Hardcore match, Alpha Dog versus Red, James Cosner versus JJ Rocky, and Luke Gray versus Bane the Bissa, plus the kickoff show matches. That's Bound for Glory. How do you do Bound for Glory? You go to the Bound for Glory picks page right now, available, and like I said, it's been up for, I think, a day or two at this point. Go in there, put your picks in. Let's talk about that once again. What you do, you go in there, you put your character name. Please put your character name, not your Discord handle, if it's different. Please put your character name so we know exactly who that is. We got a pretty good idea who they are, but it just makes things easier. Who do you think is going to win? Josh Alexander, Eddie Edwards? It's probably going to be Josh. I'll say Josh here, and then let's put a 4 on that, because you never know. Who's winning, Jordan and Masha? Probably Jordan, and I'll put a 5 on that. And then, Bailey and Kazarian? Kazarian's not winning that. I'm going to put Bailey. Let's throw 8 on that. I can't use those numbers anymore. I can't put 8 on anything else anymore. I can't put 5 or 4. They're taken. And you go through and you pick each number and how confident you are. If you think actually that the machine guns are going to win and you're more confident, throw your 8 on that one, take the 8 off the other. Just make sure there's no duplicating numbers. Please, please, please. That's the most important thing here. Because if you do have a duplicate number, only the first one that happens will count, right or wrong. The second one is thrown out, and you have nothing. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I'm talking too much already, BeerMe.
Oh, good.
I got water going here. Hold on. I'm not done. I'm not going out like that. The other part of this is we haven't had a show in a little while. And ironically, after this, we won't have a show for another while till Halloween Havoc. But if something happens and a match changes, the participants are different. Before the deadline, it's thrown out. It's gone. And everything descends. So say you put 8 on that tag title match. And they throw out the women's title. For whatever reason, you never know. We've seen crazier things happen already in the year and a half of the FPL. almost 2 years. What would happen is your 8 on the Motor City machine guns would become a 7. We would just knock everything down. If the deadline happened and they went, hey, yeah, the match isn't happening, it's just gone. You didn't get it wrong, it's just gone. Like 0 points, period, that's that. Keep that in mind for both shows, okay? Now, BeerMe, I know you're talking about Bound for Glory. This one's a crazy show because we've got the Call Your Shot Gauntlet and we've got a mystery opponent for Brian Myers. 2 wild things that normally, like, that's your 1-pointer because you're least confident on it, right?
Yeah, the Call Your Shot Gauntlet would definitely be my 1-pointer if we were not in a submission match.
Yeah, it's going to be probably your 2-pointer, maybe even your 3. I think, honestly, just to throw this out there, I think whomever Myers is facing is probably going to win. Like, it's Bound for Glory. It's probably going to be a big surprise, but it is also on the Countdown show. Keep that in mind. That's where that placement is. It's not on the main show. So, yeah, go through those. Put in your picks for the bonuses. 'Cause, I mean, look, there's tag ones, and there's 2 tag ones, and it's on Impact, BeerMe, and it's a tag title match, and I'm not going to get it right. If it's NXT, I would, but nope.
I got the last tag team match wrong, and it cost me another match.
Yeah.
The only match I got wrong.
So go through that. Please, even here, we are asking who will be Brian Myers' opponent for the digital media title. You have to put a name. If you don't, it's not being counted. Now, we understand. If you put Zack Ryder, we know that you mean Matt Cardona. At this point, nobody's putting Zack Ryder, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not like you have to put the actual name they're going to use, because they might change names. People were putting Claudio, or people were putting Cesaro before we knew he'd be Claudio. We get it. We know who it is. But don't put the guy who wins, or someone from Honor No More. Like, that will not count. You have to put a name. And if you put somebody, that's not somebody. It won't count. Unless a wrestler named somebody shows up. Okay? That's how it's going to work. So
something. I mean, there's Jake something.
Exactly. That one, you know what? If you put something and Jake something showed up, yeah, we'd count that. Yeah, but that would be it because you put the guy's actual name. So yes, please keep that in mind. Submit that again. Your deadline for that one is looking like 6 p.m. Eastern on Friday night. That is tomorrow. That is less than 24 hours from now. This time tomorrow night, the show will be 42 minutes into the main card. There's not much time. Please make sure you get your picks in for that. Please. But Extreme Rules is what we're focusing on, even though we just spent about 10 minutes, I think, almost talking on this. This is how it goes. We want to make sure people don't miss Bound for Glory. Please. But Extreme Rules, BeerMe. Here we go now with the actual picks for this one. And guess what? Picks page for that is up too. It works the same way. This is a main show. It's on Saturday, 8 o'clock. Same time frame. 7 p.m. pre-show, 6 p.m. deadline. Get your picks in there. Same stuff works. The card's been solid. Thankfully, the cards have been like solid for a while without any changes happening. Like Clash didn't have anything. That triple weekend was good. Nothing was being thrown out. So we've had a pretty good stretch of nothing vanishing off of any cards or being changed. So we're good there. But put your picks in for those as well. Get everything in there. You're good to go. And yeah, let's talk about the actual show. So we've got the FPL World Championship. The man you might make tap out and weaken before he goes into a fight pit submission match to defend the FPL World Championship. Jonathan C.T. Martin versus number 1 contender, Rate Wrestle. Who've you got on that, BeerMe?
Oh, man. You know what, Scott? You go first. Let me get a little. Let me think about it for a second.
Let's try to throw it. I'm actually drinking water.
Oh.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
But yeah, I'm good.
Oh, all right.
That was enough time for me. I'm good. If you want to think about
right.
it, okay, that's okay. I know because you're directly facing him. I think CT should probably have this one. He's probably got that in there, but I got a funny feeling Rate might get in there. 2 submission matches in a weekend is ridiculous. No one's done that, as far as I'm aware, in like the 5 years we've been doing leagues. That's crazy. So the fact that he's facing you, someone that I faced in 3 submission matches at Impact and never won. Maybe it was 4. I won 1 fall, but that's just because we storyline wrote it to be a 2 out of 3 falls match, and I gave myself a win on it, which we agreed on because it was good for story. It wasn't like I gave myself a thing. We thought it was fun, but I couldn't get the win to win the match. Right? I've never beaten you in one of those, and the fact that you had that before, and yeah, I think CT I got a funny feeling he's either going to go 2-0 or 0-2. And I will not bet against you on an Impact submission match. So I got a funny feeling we're going to get Rate Wrestle winning the title. I've got a bad feeling that CT's it's going to be rough.
There's a fight pit.
Yeah, he should win it, but I got a bad feeling.
I think I'm going to pick Rate Wrestle as well.
Yeah, and it's not like, we're just being silly, hating on CT. No, I got a funny feeling. I don't know. I have full confidence. He it's an outside thing because we haven't had a champion lose like that yet. So there's no reason to think otherwise. Like I fully feel like he will retain. I just got a funny feeling. It's a submission match. Something's off on this one. It feels like so. Yeah, it feels like Rate Wrestle's time is more it. It's not because it's CT. Right. I think it's Rate Wrestle. I think that's what it is. So, but happily, I'll be happy if it proves me wrong. We'll see what happens. So, yeah. Next up, the FPL American Championship. Josh Dionio versus James Costner. JD is defending against the former world champion in a boot camp death match. Tell you right now, I am not betting against JD in a boot camp. Flat out, I've been there. What is a boot camp match? I'm picking him. If anybody can beat him, though, it is James Costner. I've said that about him for years now.
Yeah, I'm not.
Don't say so, but it's JD in this mode. Yeah, I'm picking JD on that. It's a safe bet.
I bet against JD for like a little bit. I mean, I picked him for Impact, and I'm going to pick him here because it seems like even though this might be the kiss of death, because when I pick him not to win, he wins. So
it's your fault.
But no. But I'm going to pick him again here to retain over James Costner.
Again, it's not like Costner can't win it. Like we're not saying that because he absolutely can. I feel like if anybody can beat him, it's him, but not in a boot camp. Right? Like that's what I'm looking at there. So now I know you're biased on this one, BeerMe. The FPL Continental Tag Team Championship, which you currently hold with my best friend, the GMSG. Versus Black Cross Light, Atlas Kiyama, and Jace of Blades. I'm picking you guys. I'm not picking Black Cross Light. We've beaten them, but we haven't beaten you, and you get MMA math in that. It's like, if we've beaten them and you've beaten us, you should beat them. I just see that. Crazier things can happen. It's a lumberjack match. You never know what could go down.
I read the rules, and it's very interesting, so...
Yeah, if you're... Is this Extreme Rules? There are lots of stipulations. In our Discord, there is a match stipulations page for how these things work. So please keep that in mind when you're putting in your picks for what matters, for submission matches or for getting matches in a row. You might want to make sure you're risking less on certain matches to get a certain number in a row right. Things like that to help your win. But, yeah, Lumberjack match, it's dangerous. Like, they all are, but... I think you guys are the best team we have right now, so...
I'm going to pick us too.
Yeah, really?
I mean, but I will say that, like, there's a couple matches on this card that I'm not really for sure on. I mean, it's kind of like Bound for Glory. They're like...
Oh, this whole card's nuts.
Each of those,
this whole card is wild, yeah.
On each of those cards where I'm just like, I'm weighing my options I'm picking. So...
It's got a bit of a takeover vibe where either win could work, and I can see it making sense, and I like it. Because that was a takeover problem for me. I did poorly on a lot of takeovers because normally I'd be like, oh, this makes sense, and that's what they'd go with, but they'll probably go the other way, so that's what I base my pick on. But takeovers are often a case where it works either way. Like, if this person wins, they go that route. If this person wins, they go that route. Both make sense, both work, and work on multiple levels. That's what Extreme Rules feels like to me. I'm having a hard time with picks on that. So there you go, CJ Hawk. FYI, I'm not confident. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one for what you're encountering here with Black Cross Light with Atlas and Jace. So, let's move on then. Next up, Inferno Deathmatch. Kier 1 versus Ralentando. I don't bet against Ralentando much, but I am right now in this moment, even though I don't know if I did the entire time. I'm betting on Kier 1. I'm picking him for this one. Again, I've got a feeling like this is where he wins. This is where this kind of win for him truly matters, and I think he's going to take that. So that's my pick. What about you?
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think this is where he gets his revenge, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens from here. But
okay. Let's let's move on to the TLC match. This is, it's going to be crazy. It's a TLC match with the Arbiter, Tino, and the returning Kano Mac. A lot of history here. And Tino just came off of a title opportunity that he did not win. The Arbiter came off a title opportunity that he did not win. Both are looking to rebound big time in that regard. Kano Mac looking to make a name for himself here in his return. He's the X Factor, absolutely. Who have you got on this? Are you going with Arbiter based on that history, or is it Tino time? Because I'm leaning toward Tino, got to be honest, but I like Arbiter's chances a lot in this, personally.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go out. I'm going to pick Kano Mac.
Okay. Any reason? Just got a feeling, or?
It's just return match.
True. Yep.
You know, I'm just going out on a limb.
Okay. Next up, we've got the FPL. Well, we've got a trio of number one contenders matches, actually. Only two are on the screen, but the FPL World Championship, the next number one contender will be decided, the next two, actually, in an elimination tables hardcore match. So we've got Broken Nerd, Chef Urban, and Roman Pierce. And as we mentioned this one before, it is an elimination match. So whoever gets eliminated first, whoever has the lowest score, does not get a title shot. The other two will. Who gets it first will be the winner. The other one will get the next one. And that takes us basically into 2023, if I'm mapping out the timing right, because the only main shows left are Crown Jewel, Full Gear, Halloween Havoc, and Survivor Series, and it wouldn't be a Halloween Havoc. So you're looking at that time frame until day one. So yeah, Broken Nerd, Chef Urban, and Roman Pierce. Now, none of these have been world champion. Broken Nerd is a former American champion here. Chef Urban and Roman Pierce. Roman Pierce, a brief world champion. So he could be getting back on track. Nerd is getting that step up in opportunity, and Urban is absolutely getting that chance here as well. And two of them will get a shot. So in saying all that, I really don't know who to go with. Nerd, it sounds like saying Nerd's a safe bet, but he is. He's that damn good. I have a funny feeling Urban is going to win. He's getting the next shot. That's just what I'm looking at. And if that happens, I have a weird feeling that Nerd gets shut out and Roman gets the other shot. But if Urban doesn't win it overall, it feels like it might be like Nerd and Urban. Like I don't know. But I think Urban's getting the first shot. That's my absolute. Urban's winning the match. And I'm going to go with the dark horse there on Roman. Not like Nerd will still be in there. Watch me get a draw or something for two of them, and they all get a shot, right? Like we know. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, that's my thing. What's you got? What do you got? What's you got is what I just said. Oh my god, I didn't even say I was tired, but I'm loopy. It's toward the end of the week, so you know what happens. So.
I'm gonna go with Chef Urban as well.
Okay.
I usually pick Broken Nerd, but
yeah.
And I don't want to not pick Roman Pierce because he was just champion. But I'm gonna go with I already picked a dark horse in the last match. I'm gonna go with another dark horse in this one because what's the fun in picking a quote unquote favorite? Even though Urban's not really even that much of a dark horse, guy just wins all the time.
He does. It's not even that he doesn't win the big one. It's just he's just shy of it. Like he wins big ones, but not the big one. But he hasn't even had a shot quite like this. No. I think he's going to capitalize on that. I think he's going to take that. That's my thought. So, next up, we've got the Canadian... Sorry, that's next, actually, after this. We've got the Continental Tag Team Championship number one contenders ladder match. So this has a double purpose because Symphony of Destruction, Sheriff Dog, and Pain will face the Strays, Michael Marsh, and Supreme Rock. And it's still weird to say Sheriff Dog not as part of the Strays. That's still weird, but the winning team will go on to face the winners of the Must See Good Guys and Black Cross Light on the next defense, which I forget exactly when that is. We'll scroll down here in a minute to see it. I think it's Crown Jewel. It might be Halloween Havoc, but it is at the next title defense. The losing team will be that eighth and final entrant into the tag team tournament, which will be coursing through the rest of 2022. The winners of that tournament will get a future shot. So this is the tag division building, getting some momentum, getting some action happening. Both these teams have a chance. One is a quick road, one is a very long road. But we could still see it. We could still see it happen. So I'm picking Symphony of Destruction to win this. Just because we've seen Sheriff and Payne both doing well. I know Marsh and Supreme Rock have also done well, but I've just got a feeling like Symphony of Destruction, they were on a roll already, and I think they've got that. And I think they're a serious threat for Black Cross Light and Must-See Good Guys. So I kind of want to see you guys face SOD, not going to lie. What are you thinking here as a tag team champion looking at a potential contenders match? Like, this will happen, and you'll know the contenders before you defend against Black Cross Light. Who are you looking at here? What's your thought process?
I think it's going to be Symphony of Destruction as well, because Sheriff Dog, I think he had 3 matches or something, like tag matches with each person in the group and won them all. So that kind of stands out to me. So I'm going to pick them.
Okay, I like that. Now, it is the Canadian Championship #1 contenders match. It is Watson Rules, as it should be. It is Mad Elite Titan, who's come close in tournaments and had some shots here and there, versus Wookie, who's been on a bit of a turnaround, had some halted momentum, lost some, quite frankly, Extreme Rules matches, but won the normal ones, the pure ones, the legit ones. So he's in a Watson Rules match. You look at these two, you don't think Watson Rules, and I kind of love that. So
Right.
I think Mad Elite's going to take it because he's been close before, but I would not, like, Wookie's a safe, he's a safe, risky bet. Like, he can win this, absolutely, and no one would expect it, is what I mean. Like, that's not his forte. That's why it's cool. That's why it could work. I am still picking Mad Elite Titan on this one, though. What about you?
Want Wookie to win?
Yeah. I just love that idea.
Elite Titan's going to win. Yeah.
I love the idea of Wookie in Watson Rules matches. That's I love that kind of stuff. Yeah. But that's just that.
Yeah.
Will he actually do it? I don't know. Do you think, to scroll back up through here, do you think Nerd, Urban, or Pierce would be able to dethrone CT? Just off the cuff. I think yes. Because Roman would have retained if not for Money in the Bank.
I mean, if I'm saying that Rate could beat CT or is going to beat CT,
well, that's my second question.
Then I don't know. Then, I mean, I would have to say that any of those 3 could quite possibly beat CT.
Do you think any of these guys would be able to dethrone Rate?
Yes, because I think all 3 of those guys are really heavy hitters as well. I think they're in the same category of wrestler.
So what I'm hearing, I know some people would look at that as like, I talked to Bomber about this a lot. He didn't like the idea of like a lot of people vying for it because it doesn't really show like a solid champion. That tells me we got 5 solid contenders worthy of the championship. So, that's what that tells me. And then Hawk as well, who just had it. At the very least, that's 6. That's how I look at it. So, same with this. I mean, obviously, you're going to say you're going to beat all the teams, so I'm not going to ask the tag one. Let's be honest here. But Escobar is defending. No, he's not actually. Sorry, Escobar is not defending here. So Escobar will defend against either Mad Elite or Wookie. I think he's got both, but Wookie is a problem for anybody, and Wookie versus Escobar in a Watson Rules sounds awesome to me. I don't know if he'd win it, but I love that idea.
Yeah, it would be weird having to see him have to overcome that.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, yeah. I really, that's why I kind of want to see it be Wookie, but
those are fun. Okay, moving on. The last 2 main show matches, we got Steel Cage Hardcore match. Bastion, your friend, I almost said one of tag team champions. No, he isn't. He has no title right now. Is facing James Black, who might not be the European champion anymore at that point, because that's what prompted that. But he might not even hold that gold. He might have lost it 24 hours earlier. You're going to pick Bastion, obviously, against James Black. I am as well, but that's because I pretty much always pick Bastion no matter what, because Bastion wins damn near every damn match. I'm not bitter. It's just Bastion. It's just, yeah. But how about this? Extreme Rules hardcore match. Alexander McKennedy versus Luke Gray. I think we both picked Luke as we went because it's his time, right? Like, this is McKennedy's wheelhouse, and he's been out of it a little bit. But I think we agreed that Luke is the one to win this, right? I'm still feeling that. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Luke as well. Even though I feel like McKennedy's kind of getting his feet back under him.
He is.
In these types of matches, and we'll see where he goes. But I'm gonna pick Luke, but I would not be shocked if McKennedy won.
No. And then the kickoff show matches, we do have the phone booth fight hardcore match, Red versus James Blake, and the non-title match of the Canadian champion mentioned before, Sebastian Escobar versus Pinner of Champions, Lexi Briggs, and CJ Hawk versus me, Scott, who's not confident in this card whatsoever. I'm picking Red, obviously. I think Escobar is going to win, and I got a bad feeling, but I'm picking myself anyway. But Hawk's probably got it. He's had my number, too, so what do you got for those? Who you got? Phone booth, Red or Blake?
Blake, and I don't know why.
Okay.
But I have a feeling it's just going to be Matt after not winning the European title.
Oh,
Not saying he won't.
Yeah.
But I'm predicting that.
Okay. And if it's Escobar and Lexi, who you got? You don't pick against Escobar very much, so.
I don't usually pick against Escobar very much, but she's the Pinner of Champions, so it's really tough. I'm going to actually pick Lexi Briggs here.
So am I.
To get the upset.
Me too.
Well, not even the upset. She just pins champions.
Yeah, she pins champions. Yeah, I can see it. And how about me and Hawk?
Let me pick you.
Really? Oh, you said that last time too. You have more confidence in me than I do.
Because you lost your bachelor party match.
I did.
To him, so I think you're gonna. This is 50-50 booking here, so I think you're gonna win this one. Okay. Maybe down the road, y'all have another one.
Nice, fair. I like it. And then, yes, if you do put your picks in, if you're not one of the names mentioned here or you're a new person that's signing up, if you put your picks in for this or Bound for Glory, you will have a match on this card. This is how we book them. You'll be on the pre-show and you work your way up. Like a lot of these names, they work their way into these matches, and this is consistency and showing up and having fun. So that's the name of the game. Following that will be Halloween Havoc, like we said, in October 22nd. We are in October. There is the Canadian Championship. There is the Trick or Treat Street Fight. There's the tournament for the next contenders is here as well. And then, of course, Crown Jewel will have the world title defense, the tag title defense, round 2 of the tournament. Full Gear will be, as a main show, the first AEW one we've had, another world title defense, another Canadian title defense, and the tag tournament finals. And then, of course, Survivor Series, we will have War Games match and 1 War Games and 2 Survivor Series matches. Will there be title defenses? Maybe. We're not quite sure yet. It's uncertain how that's going to exactly work regarding that, and it all depends on who's on what teams. But please remember, get your picks in. Bound for Glory is tomorrow. Bound for Glory, when you're watching this, is tonight. That is the one to go with. That is the one to put your picks in. Deadline is tonight. Please, please, please. You can do your Extreme Rules picks in the same breath. You can go over to that page and do that one too. So please get your picks in for all this stuff. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. I know I'll be in the Discord voice chat live tomorrow night listening to Bound for Glory. I'm going to miss most of Extreme Rules, sadly. I will be out, at least as of I record this. Things have happened where it's like, hey, I'm good after all. It just happens. Life happens, and you know what? It's a thing. But I know the guys will be in there. BeerMe, you're going to be in there for both, I believe. The rest of the Top of the Card podcast hosts will be there. They're all the FPL owners. And, of course, others will be joining in there as well. The usuals with Costner and JD. Usually Luke is in there. A lot of guys are in there as well. Bastion shows up, usually afterwards. So it's kind of funny who shows up in there. But please, please, please come and hang out, watch some wrestling. Let's have some fun. That's all I got, BeerMe, as we hit our 30-minute mark. Pretty much on the dot according to the recording. It's just shy of it with the trimming. But anything you'd like to say to the people here as we close this one out ahead of our double weekend?
Yes, thank you for listening, and I'll see you all next. Oh, and make sure everybody gets your predictions in, and let's have a fun weekend, and see y'all next week.
Yes.
Oh, and come join voice chat if you're around.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Yeah, thanks again, everybody. This is Frontline Prediction League. Frontline League on Twitter. Frontline Prediction League is the YouTube channel. I said that before at the top of the show half hour ago. You all know it. Like, favorite, subscribe, all that stuff. Come into our Discord. If you don't know what this is, now you do. You can come in, sign up, have some fun, check the stuff out. And, of course, Top of the Card Pod, going for a year and a half now on that one as well. Top of the Card Podcast for wrestling. Not news, but opinions. We're not timely, but we are opinionated. Like I said, we recorded last night. It's not going to be up till after this double weekend. It's fine. But we recorded it knowing that. We talk a lot of fun about wrestling stuff and what we like, what we don't like. We try to be positive, but, you know, stuff happens. People are crazy. Sammy Guevara is a real piece of work. Or is he? Who knows? That's part of the fun. You can check that out on Apple, iTunes, on Spotify, on Google Play, on all that stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of wrestling. It's a lot of fun stuff. We're having a lot of fun with it. I'll leave it at that. Thanks again, everybody, for listening. For BeerMe, we appreciate it. Have a good night.